Hey, what's up? My name is George Miller Jr. I'm a record collector. I was born in East Los Angeles at the General Hospital, and I was raised in Montebello, California. I was raised in Montebello. We lived with my grandmother. It was my mom, my dad, me. I probably lived in Montebello until I was about 10 years old. I think I was in the fourth grade. And yeah, we ended up moving out of Montebello. My mom, we ended up moving to West Covina, California. You know, I went to high school there, and I met a bunch of different people, different cultures, different things going on. And I was about, by the time what I really remember is when I was about 14, 13 years old is when I was going into high school, and just skateboarding and just hanging out with certain people and learning that from those people, what they do over there, skateboarding, surfing even. And there was dance crews in high school, that you had like breakdancing crews, you had party crews kicking off. There's just a mecca of everything just kicking off in high school. I'm sure everybody has the same story. So that's really what I remember. I think that's probably where most of my story really begins, is when I was really 13 on. Anything beforehand, just some kid shit, just a kid living at my grandma's. So yeah, back to the skateboarding aspect of it, man. I remember my grandmother still came over to visit us at our house, because we lived in West Covina. So my grandmother, I had a next door neighbor friend who was a skateboarder, and he was decently, not the best, but he was better than me. I didn't know how to skate at all. I used to just like watch him from afar and admire, like, wow, it was just so cool to see this person skateboard. And my grandmother, like about a week later, she ended up going, God bless her soul, and buying me like one of those generic skateboards, from like Zodi's or Target or something back in the day. And I got a skateboard, man. So it was also cool because I lived kind of far from the school, so I would use the skateboard instead of walking to school back and forth every day. I started taking my skateboard to school and skateboarding to school and skateboarding back home. And that right there in itself, like, pretty much taught me the fundamentals and the basics of how to catch my balance, how to like push and skateboard. And after about a few months of skateboarding, or actually about a month or two, I caught on pretty quick. My next door neighbor saw that I had a skateboard, and he was kind of like not making fun of it. Hey man, this board ain't the right board for you. This is like one of those really, really beginner boards. It's got the skid plat on it. It's got the nose guard on it. It's got the rails on it. The trucks are no good. So he was really like, in other words, this wasn't a professional skateboard if you really want to learn how to skate like me, because I was trying to do tricks like him, and I just couldn't achieve what he was doing because the skateboard I had just wouldn't allow me to. So I finally got a skateboard from the pawn shop, a professional one, if you will. It was a Pal Peralta board, I remember, and had all the indie trucks and the Pal bones and all that. And then I kind of got accepted into like the skater clan. There was like a little group of guys at school who were the skaters, and I was the new guy. And but in the skating community, man, it's all about encouragement, and it's all about like showing love and teaching. In the skateboard community, whenever a skateboarder tries to teach another skateboarder, it's always like pure, like from the heart, I'm trying to teach this person to be better. So I kind of learned those fundamentals with skateboarding. Over the course of 6 months to 8 months, I became very, 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 very good in skateboarding. I was a fast learner. I was already like doing some crazy tricks. We used to like go watch skateboard movies and doing the whole 9 yards, man. So yeah, just skateboarding with my friends in my first year of high school was really a big part of who I am, and really a big part of my past that not too many people know about. I have the tattoos all over me now, and people would probably never guess that that I used to skateboard a lot and go to the beach and surf as well. Summertime we'd go surfing at the beach, play 2-on-2 volleyball. We did some like I guess some white boy shit, if you want to call it that. But I got really good at skateboarding, and after like 2 years of skateboarding, I was pretty much like sponsorship, like really good. Like on the verge of that, man, on the verge of sponsorship. I even skated at Lance Mountain's house from Pal Peralta. I started skating with a bunch of like professionals, man. I really climbed the ranks, and I got so good that I got noticed by everybody, and I became like one of the best skaters at my school. And that just seems to be like the story of my life. I've always tried to progress and conquer every boundary I have in front of me. So I've met like professional skaters, skated with professional skaters, and I just kept getting that much better and better and better. You know, I think my energy I put out there, you really do attract it. You know, because I wanted it so bad. And next thing you know, I'm fucking skating with Guy Mariano, Gabriel Rodriguez, and Rudy Johnson. You know, the three guys from Powell. I'm skating with Lance Mountain in his backyard over in Duarte. He lives like kind of in the hills. Got a big old 14-foot half pipe. We went to that, skating all that, and I just started skating with all the shop sponsor guys, man. So I was really passionate about skateboarding, man. I gotta say that. Aside from this soul music, and while skateboarding, you know, I was 14, 15, and that's when I was also getting introduced to this music that we're talking about as well. You would never believe it because my ear was everywhere. I mean, I was listening to Jane's Addiction, to Metallica, to just all kinds of shit. But I always had that soft spot for oldies because of my father. Back to my skateboarding in high school, man, there's a lot of different phases of high school fuckery I went through, you know, like all of us, right? So I'm a skater. Not only was I a skater, I was a tagger. So I was also tagging the city while I was skateboarding. So I was in a tagging crew as well. I played football. Fuck, I did all kinds of fucking crazy shit. I was like the man with many hats in high school. Like I was cool with the mobbers. I was cool with the skaters. I was cool with the jocks because I played football. Like I was just like that guy. Academically, I was a fuck up, bro. I fucking got kicked out of my high school in 10th grade. I ended up at Coronado Tech. Coronado was actually a continuation school. A bunch of taggers from the crew I was in at the time went to the school and graffitied the hell out of it. And, you know, most of us are dumb and naive, and I'm carrying around my backpack and my books and my folders, and it's just got the same writing. You know, all my shit's tagged on, the roll call, all the names are there, and the principal pretty much knew my rap. You know, he kind of had a hunch like I was part of this clique, and he pretty much called me in the office, and I was the only one who had like the evidence on my book, like on my backpack, like it says the name of the crew right there, and he's like, yeah, your crew came and like just destroyed the school. So basically I took the rap for it, man. I didn't snitch on nobody. But I ate the bullet for that one, and I got kicked out of school for not snitching and just taking saying it was me, basically. Like the group, not saying it was me, but just like not really saying anything, but just taking the fucking rap. So in school, you know, academically, I was just, all I wanted to do was skateboard. I didn't want to do any kind of homework. I was just all about trying to get sponsored now. I took it really seriously, and I just hang around a bunch of different crowds of people, you know, like I said, party crews were forming. I was also in the party crews, aside from the tagging crews, party crews, dance crews. You know, it's the fucking 90s, man. It's like 1991, 92, man. Shit was bubbling, shit was cracking, and I had my hand in everything. And so did everybody else at that time. I wasn't just the only one. I think everybody was just, you know, in the mix with, you know, friends with everybody. So, but yeah, that was me in high school. At this time, when I joined this party crew, there was a lot of things going on in my life as well. My parents split up when I was 14 and a half. My dad moved back to Pico. My mom kept the pad in West Covina. So now I don't have a father figure in my life. I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. I got a whip, and I'm in this party crew. I'm still tagging. I'm still skateboarding. I'm still going to the beach. I'm doing my own thing. I'm pretty much living my own life already at 15 and a half, 16 years old. I'm meeting friends, and we're throwing parties, man. It's like kind of like a new thing. I know they were throwing parties in the 80s, but this is my generation now in 91, and now we're throwing parties, techno parties, deep house. There was DJs, playing the shit and all that. So how did party crews reflect on me now? It's very entrepreneurial, very, very much put me in an entrepreneurial mindset of how to gather people, how to make it work, how to throw a party. There's a lot of different schematics that are involved to making a party crack and happen and be talked about. Our parties that we threw were very talked about. You had to build a name, a reputation, if you wanted your crews and your party to really always have the same people coming back, or more people even coming from further areas, just to see what the fucking hype's all about. You put the right DJs, blah 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 blah. I'm only 16 years old. I'm already learning this game. I met a kid. My mom, we ended up losing the house, and we moved to this apartment complex. We still stood in West Covina, and now we're in this complex called Sunset Gardens, I believe, on Sunset and Francisquito. And my brother Angel, he's like 3 years younger than me. he's like my little shadow, so he was in the party clueless. But it took him a while to really puberty to growth. He looked like a little kid, he's like, and he was a little kid, he was like 12 years old, but he looked like he was fucking like 9 years old, like his little baby face and all that. But I took him with me to these parties because him, my little brother, and he rolled with us, and he saw us drinking, smoking weed, doing bad shit. But his friends, I met a friend of his that was a little older than him, Danny, and that was actually my brother's friend, but he became both our friends because he lived in the same apartment complex that we moved into. And he was like this, geeky little, kid with nothing going on. And I remember telling myself, like, I'm gonna make a project out of this kid. Like, I'm gonna make this kid pretty cool. I'm gonna do like, this guy's like, I felt so bad for him. I'm like, man, I'm gonna make this dude cool. He's gonna hang, because I was pretty cool at the time. I knew the right people and all that shit, and I knew I wanted to, bring them in the circle. So about a year goes by, we're still partying and all this, and now this kid, that I met, his name's Danny. He was involved now with throwing parties and meeting the people I'm meeting, because we live in the same apartment complex. So he's constantly rolling with me everywhere I go. So we're close. So now we're trying to throw our own parties and throw our own flyers and make our own shit. So he's in high school now, right? And he took printing class and graphic design, and that was like new shit back then. Long story short, about a year goes by. He's now the king of the SGV, making everybody's flyers, graphic designing everybody's shit, and that's like my best friend. So I got my best friend, and now me and him are pretty much getting clientele. We're starting to say, hey man, you can get your flyers from us. We make you 5,000 flyers for X amount of money. So now we're kind of making money about making flyers for all these other party crews. We even did our own magazine called Mystique Dynasty. It's a small little paperback magazine, but still we created this magazine, and we kind of like, we're like the underground street beat, because you had Street Beat magazine going on at the time. And but we were like, for the hood, our little scene, our little area, and we're doing our own little magazine called Mystique Dynasty, and we're interviewing like our party crew heads, our chicks. Dude, it was so entrepreneurial, man. Like, you wouldn't believe it. We were selling ads in our magazine to record stores, to clothing stores. We're making money now, so we can keep the fucking magazine going. And on top of that, he's printing and he's building a bigger name for himself as Mystique Dynasty, Liquid Image Designs, back then, in like 93. And so he became like one of the main guys in the SGV, making everybody's party crew flyers. I was still party crewing it up, building my reputation and my name. And I was very known in the SGV back then. I even took on DJing a little bit, but not so much. I followed, cats like DJ Kazal, Modern Romance. Those are like the heavy name DJ. There's so many DJs, Jungle George, so many DJs, DJ Earthquake, so many DJs that I ran with and learning how to like play the house music with them. And we would go to DMC Records and buy house records and shit like that. So, but my name they gave me was Curious George. So I was very, very known in the SGV and surrounding areas, because my name was on all the flyers. And the reason why my name was on all the flyers, we knew everybody. So, it's like a shout out, everybody hits up everybody, like special host, like blah, 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 and Curious George. So my friend Danny, who's making everybody's flyers, when people were placing their orders, we asked them first, hey man, is it cool if we put my homie Curious George like on your flyer? And people didn't give a fuck. They just wanted to party, man. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, don't put his name on there. We don't care. So my name, bro, Curious George, like ended up on, even though I was never at those parties, but I did try to go to every party my name was on just to like do good by it. But yeah, man, there's times when my name was probably like on 30, 40 flyers every weekend. And I built a huge, reputation. You could ask people now to this day if they ever heard of Curious George from SGB in the 90s. They probably would say, yeah, but they wouldn't really know who it is. But that's me. I'm Curious George. If you guys heard the name from like 92 to 95, that's me, Curious George.